Learning objectives. At the end of this topic, you will be able to understand views of 3D shapes, mapping space around us, and faces, edges, and vertices. Introduction. You know what plane shapes and solid shapes are. Plane shapes have two measurements like length and breadth, and therefore they are called two-dimensional shapes. Solid shapes have three measurements like length, breadth, height, or depth. Hence, they are called three-dimensional shapes. What shape is it? It is a square. What kind of a shape is it? It is a two-dimensional shape. What shape is it? It is a cube. What kind of a shape is it? It is a three-dimensional shape. Nowadays, many a times, we come across combinations of different shapes. For example, a softy ice cream. It is a cone surmounted by a hemisphere. A bowl. It is a hemispherical shell. View of 3D shapes. Three-dimensional objects can look differently from different positions. See this aeroplane. You can view this aeroplane in different positions. This aeroplane can have the top view, front view, and side view. Children, observe different things around you from different positions. Mapping space around us. Have you ever used a map? If you did, you will know that maps contain a lot of useful information. Map reading and map drawing are important skills to learn in geography. How far is Reena's school from his residence? Yes, very good. 2 kilometers. Whose house is nearer to the school, Reena's or Mina's? Very good. Mina's house. Which is the important landmark for Mina's house? Very good. National Bank. Faces, edges, and vertices. Consider the cube. Cube is made up of squares. In a cube, all the sides are equal and all the faces are the same area. Vertex. A vertex is nothing but a corner, that is, two lines joining together. How many corners does the cube have? The cube has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 corners. So a cube has 8 vertices. What's an edge? An edge is a straight line. The cube has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 edges. So a cube has 12 edges. What is a face? A face is a surface. One at the front face, the second one at the back face, the third at the left, the fourth at the right, fifth one at the top, and the sixth one at the base. Now consider a triangular prism. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 edges. Now let us see how many vertices it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. Now we see how many faces are there. One at the front, the second one at the back face, the third at the left, the fourth at the right, and the fifth at the base. Each of these solids is made up of polygonal regions which are called its faces. These faces meet at edges which are line segments, and the edges meet at vertices which are points. Such solids are called polyhedrons. Consider the sphere. It has no face, no edge, and no vertex. Certain 3D shapes have curved edges. For example, cylinder and cone. Not all the faces are similar in both of these. A cylinder has 3 faces, out of which 2 are circular faces. It has 2 edges, one at the top and one at the bottom. It has no vertices because there are no points in which the edges meet. A cone has 2 faces. One is circular face and the other one is a curved face. It also has one edge where the curved surface meets the flat surface. It is one vertex. These shapes do not satisfy the conditions of polyhedrons. Hence, they are called as non-polyhedrons. A polyhedron is said to be convex if its surface comprising its faces, edges, and vertices does not intersect itself, and the line segment joining any 2 points of the polyhedron is contained in the interior or surface. Example: a cube is a convex polyhedron, whereas a bow tie-shaped polyhedron would not be a convex polyhedron. Regular polyhedrons. A polyhedron is said to be regular if its faces are made up of regular polygons and the same number of faces meet at each vertex. This polyhedron is regular. Its faces are congruent, regular polygons. Vertices are formed by the same number of faces. This polyhedron is not regular. All the sides are congruent, but the vertices are not formed by the same number of faces. 3 faces meet at A, but 4 faces meet at B. 2 important members of polyhedron family around are prisms and pyramids. A prism is a polyhedron whose base and top are congruent polygons and whose other faces, that is, lateral faces, are parallelograms in shape. A pyramid is a polyhedron whose base is a polygon of any number of sides and whose lateral faces are triangles with a common vertex. A prism or a pyramid is named after its base. Thus, a hexagonal prism has a hexagon as its base, and a triangular pyramid has a triangle as its base. Euler's formula for polyhedron. A cube has 6 faces, 8 vertices, and 12 edges. If you consider the pyramid, it has 5 faces, 5 vertices, and 8 edges. Next, consider triangular pyramid. It has 4 faces, 4 vertices, and 6 edges. The last one is hexagonal prism. It has 8 faces, 12 vertices, and 18 edges. Euler's formula for polyhedron is number of faces F minus number of edges E plus number of vertices V is equal to 2. Summary. Let's summarize the topic. 2-dimensional shapes have only length and breadth, whereas the 3-dimensional objects or solids generally have length, breadth, and height. 3-dimensional objects have different views from different locations or angles. A map is different from a picture. A map depicts the location of a particular object or place in relation to other objects or places. Symbols are used to depict the different objects or places. There is no reference or perspective in a map. Maps involve a scale which is fixed for a particular map. A polyhedron is a solid shape bounded by polygons, whereas non-polyhedrons do not have polygon-shaped faces. Each of these solids is made up of polygonal regions which are called its faces. These faces meet at edges which are line segments, and the edges meet at vertices which are points. Such solids are called polyhedrons. Few examples of polyhedrons are cubes, cuboids, Prisms and pyramids and a few examples of non-polyhedrons are spheres, cones, and cylinders. A polyhedron is said to be convex if its surface, comprising its faces, edges, and vertices, does not intersect itself, and the line segment joining any 2 points of the polyhedron is contained in the interior or surface. A polyhedron is said to be regular if its face is made up of regular polygons and the same number of faces meet at each vertex. A prism is a polyhedron whose base and top are congruent polygons and whose other faces, that is, lateral faces, are parallelograms in shape. A pyramid is a polyhedron whose base is a polygon of any number of sides and whose lateral faces are triangles with a common vertex.